Conference Final Four tournament live coming at you right now in the Schaefer Center on the campus of Southwestern Assemblies of God University in Waxahachie, Texas. A couple of these teams had to make a drive, and Oklahoma City for MACU and Siloam Springs, Arkansas for John Brown University, but Texas Wesleyan, I mean, these campuses that are almost next to each other, 24 miles, so no sweat for Texas Wesleyan. This is going to be a great time, and I can't wait, but I want to introduce someone. I'm John Cookman, your play-by-play host tonight, but we got a special guest on the microphone all the way from Siloam Springs, Arkansas, the John Brown University volleyball and basketball analyst, specialist. He's an amazing guy. His name's Ori Phillips. He's going to be on the mic. How you doing tonight, Ori?
Doing well. Thanks for the introduction right there. I mean, great to be here. I will say that last night was the first time I've ever driven that gauntlet that is driving in Dallas rush hour traffic. The moment I got into McKinney, I looked at the time. I was 5:30. Oh, brother.
It's no joke, bro.
And it was a little exciting, but, I mean, today should be very exciting. We got two great teams in Southwestern Assemblies of God. I mean, I've said it all the time on JB Broadcast this season. The big storyline across the league, who can take them down? I'm going to be honest with you, man. Last week, I thought for a second there we may have had the answer, but SAGU, they came forward against John Brown, won 3 straight against them. Off to a great start in this tournament. But Mid-America Christian do not want to sleep on those Evangels. They have a team that's equipped for success. The underdogs today, but that's a situation I think they can thrive in. Watch out for the Evangels. Lions do not want to sleep on them.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And speaking of the MACU Evangels, I got a chance to catch up with head coach Holly McCammy, and man, it was great. Here, let's give them a little preview of what's in the mind of a coach coming into the Final Four. All right, we're here with Coach Holly McCammy of the MACU Evangels. Coach McCammy, it's so good to have you here in the, I don't know if we're allowed to say the Final Four, but it's the Final Four teams of the Sooner Athletic Conference. This is so exciting. The people want to know, what is the mood like in the Evangels locker room right now?
The mood in the locker room right now is belief. These girls are ready. They are pumped. They are excited for this opportunity. It's not lost on us that this is our first time in MACU history to make it in the conference. So they are just rearing and ready to go. They can't wait for that clock to run down so we can get this game going.
Well, this is a huge game because it's one and done, and it's postseason time. There's probably some other implications going on for MACU in maybe extended postseason. We know it's important to get a win anytime that you're playing, but can you knock off this #1 juggernaut, undefeated? And if so, give us 2 or 3 little coaching tips of how you're going to attack and execute tonight.
Well, the first thing is, I like analogies a lot, and, there's March Madness, and 16 seeds knock off 1 seeds every year in the tournament. Okay. And so we have talked about a lot of those stories coming up into this game. So that's number 1. Number 1 is believe, because if it was just this team's number 1 and this team's number 4 and one automatically goes through, then we wouldn't play. And so that's why we play the game. So number 1 is that we're going to believe. Number 2 is we're going to come out there and do what we always do, which is play relentless defense and mix up our sets. And number 3, we're going to do the best we can to shut down their top hitters, Emma Tompkins, Ava Myers, and really all of them, because they're all 6, they're top hitters in my opinion, but we're just going to give everything that we have out there for sure. One thing for sure is we are not going to go down without a fight.
I love it. That's Coach Holly McCammy of the MACU Evangels. And let me tell you something, I've had the pleasure of calling the last game, and we've been watching you guys grow. The chemistry seems to be at an all-time high, and it starts with belief. So I'm one of those guys that love to see the David-Goliath type matchup and David win every time.
We said that in the locker room. This is David versus Goliath, and in that story, David wins.
That's right. So it can be done. We know that you guys are good enough to do it. Now, I'm from SAGU, so I'm a little partial, but we know how good you guys are and have been getting. Good luck tonight, and we wish you the best. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And that was Coach Holly McCammy from the MACU Evangels. What a great story. And I would expect every coach would kind of go for that, when you're coming in as the bottom seed. They're not the bottom seed in the conference by any means. So do you buy the David and Goliath comparison there?
I mean, to an extent, sure, because you look at SAGU, they've been unbeatable pretty much all season long, showing few signs of vulnerability. But Mid-America Christian in a spot they haven't been in a lot this year. Top 4 team, I mean, bottom seed of the teams remaining. They're coming in as the underdogs. They have a lot to prove. I think they have that chip on their shoulder, trying to come out, be strong. We'll see what they can do once this thing gets underway.
Yeah, and also on the other side of the net, it's going to be, like you said, the undefeated SAGU Lady Lions. We got a chance to catch up with Coach Moore. So let's see what Coach Moore had of his thoughts and what it's like in the locker room right now. All right, we're here with Coach Hank Moore, the only coach in the NAI with a unblemished record. Undefeated, you're 30-0. Coach Moore, you're coming in. This is an exciting time because it's one-and-done season. It's postseason. You're in the Final Four of the Sooner Athletic Conference. What's the mood like in the Lady Lions locker room?
Well, John, our kids are prepared, and we've gone through a lot of scouting reports. We've worked and watched a lot of video. The girls have watched a lot of video as well, and they're ready for tonight. They're focused, and they're locked into what their job is that they have to do. And we know that there's nothing given to you. You got to go get it. You got to earn everything that's in front of you, and I think they're ready to play. Yeah.
So, you're 30-0. Does that get old at all? Is that a thought process? You're coming in. You don't have to win this game. It's not really got any negative implications for the next postseason play, which will be the NAI National Tournament.
Right.
But how do you get up for a game like this? Make sure you take care of business. Of course, I know you want to win, but give us a couple key elements and points that you're going to go over with the team that you need to execute to get wins this weekend.
Well, number one, we can't look past MACU. They're a very good team. They've got some great players. Their best player, in my opinion, is Lena Stockhammer, and Cammy's done a great job of moving her a little bit around. And the last 2 matches, Lena, who's a right side / setter, she has not played right side. She's hit outside, which from a strategic standpoint for them, I think that's a very smart thing to do. She's their best hitter. Put her in a position where she'll get the most swings, and they've done that. We know that we've got to slow her down. I'm not saying that we're going to stop her. I don't think you stop a kid like that. But our strategy is going to center around pressing some defense that way and doing the things that we need to do to disrupt what she does best.
Yeah, and in these type of David and Goliath scenarios, that they're looking at you as the Goliath that is in the way. And faith-based institutions really feed off of those kind of analogies. And it's not impossible. We've seen the 16 seed knock off the 1 seed, and they're not a 16 seed by any means.
No, they're not by any means.
So I mean, are you at any level feeling extra pressure not to lose, or is this just, hey, we just come in here to play the game?
We're looking at this, and even in our pregame devotion time, we talked about each member of our team bringing the gifts that God's given them. And each one of those gifts complement their teammates' gifts. And all we're trying to do is to play together as a unit. Our focus, we don't really ever talk about winning or losing. What we talk about is growth. And this today is an opportunity for us to grow and get better. And that's what we're doing. We've approached that from our very first set, our very first point back in August. This is all about growth and getting better. And we're trying to peak at the right time. David and Goliath, I don't think that's a fair analogy because they're a very good team, and I think we are too. And the fun thing with is you get to match up, you get to go play the game. It is a game, and we got to keep that in the right perspective.
It's based on what coaches are going to use to inspire their team.
And as she told the David and Goliath story, I think that's great for them. For us, what we focused on literally is the scripture verse of everybody brings their gifts, and now we do that together to complement one another for the glory of God, and that's where we're moving with our program.
Wow, that's fantastic, and what a program you've built over how many years now?
22. This is season 22. Yes,
wow.
sir.
Well, congratulations, Coach, on such an absolute great season, but it's been a great coaching career you've had here at SAGU, and you and I have talked about that many times, but we call you pastor sometimes because you're much more than a coach. Well, good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for all that you've done for our program. You guys do a fabulous job. Thank you, John.
Thanks, Coach. And that was the illustrious Hank Moore. We gave him a little time. It's special. It's an undefeated season, and it's just great to hear the mind of a great coach. Right now, we're going to throw it down to the pregame festivities. They're in the middle, wrapping up the national anthem, and the starting lineups coming up, and then we'll be back for a little pregame banter between the great Ori Phillips and myself.
Yes, sir.
Number 1, Chloe Mitchell. Number 2, Faith Foch. Number 3, Sarah Jones. Number 9, Marley Hunter. Number 10, Vanessa Morea. Number 13, Riley Bowden. Number 19, Cassidy McKinney. Head coach of MACU is Holly McCammy. Assistant coach is Hannah Nicholson. Now, the starting lineups for your SAGU Lady Lions. Number 3, Riley Burcham. Number 6, Abby Wells. Number 10, Tessa Glick. Number 11, Emma Tompkins. Number 17, Kaya Bach. Number 18, Alexandra Bonet. Number 24, Karina Tipton. Head coach of the Lady Lions is Hank Moore. Assistant coach is Nick Moore. Graduate assistant is Callie Upnor.
All right, there you have it, the starting lineups for this part 1 of a doubleheader tonight. It's the final 4 teams of the Sooner Athletic Conference. This is the one and done tournament. And Ori, just give us some thoughts. What happens in a postseason play like this in teams' minds? Do they get up a little bit higher, or is the pressure too great? Give us some thoughts about what we're going to see.
Well, I mean, you look at it, especially Mid-America Christian's case. It's, as you said, one and done. SAGU, they will be moving on. They did claim one of the league's auto bids by winning the regular season title. They'll be playing in the national tournament. But Mid-America Christian, they're playing for their season right now. Their record probably not good enough to snag one of those auto bids. They face some very tough competition. And I mean, we saw in the matchup between John Brown University and Oklahoma City that I was calling back on Tuesday, both teams fighting tooth and nail. They were going for balls that maybe they aren't so inclined to go for in regular season action. They're putting it all on the line. Very sacrificial play, looking for somebody to step up. And I mean, that's something you really got to do, especially in high pressure situations. Make one less mistake. Every single person on that court, make one less mistake. See where your team's at. And I mean, Mid-America Christian, they're facing a SAGU team that doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes, doesn't have a lot of self-inflicted errors. The Evangels have to match that if they want to pull off this upset. David and Goliath, again, it's a matter of whether or not you buy into that narrative or not, but MACU, underdogs, they have to play some polished volleyball today.
You're right. So right. And I think I do kind of buy into the David and Goliath scenario. It's coaching leverage. The reality is not necessarily what's at stake here. It's the perception, right? There's MACU getting the first point of the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament. Now it's on. MACU serving. And that's, she always does it. And what I got to concentrate on is we're extremely neutral. We try to always be neutral, but you know, I call for the SAGU Sports Network, so I know the ladies in purple very well, but I will try to hold my banter down and not be biased. We may lean just slightly over to, of course, Ori's going to be the perfect neutral. He has no dog in the fight. But
neutral party.
Yeah. Maddie Pettin with the serve. Burcham to Tompkins. Great defense by the libero. MACU Evangels come through with another point.
That's how you want to even things up. They struck first, then SAGU responded with 2 of their own. But as we said, magnificent play there on the Evangels side. Got it back on their end. It's a team that cannot afford to let SAGU off to a quick start. So far, doing their job.
MACU serves. Burcham goes to Bonet on the outside. Here comes MACU from the outside. Burcham back to Bonet. She sends one down the left line. It's good. Great hit by Alexandra Bonet there.
Able to break the tie and really, I mean, it's one of those deals. We hear about it a lot on the JBU side, talking about winning every 5 rallies, whether it's 3-2, 4-1, 5-0. Right now, Lions large and in charge. Slim lead that they have built up, but gotta like you're seeing if you're a SAGU fan right now. Good job there by MACU, able to quickly terminate, responding, tying this thing back up.
One of the rare defensive no-gets by Maddie Pettin. She usually gets to that and just couldn't get the pass off. Now, MACU still in belief mode. It's 3-3.
It was Vanessa Moreira last time. They got the kill, and quickly a little don't mind if I do from the Lions.
That's one of the things that makes Riley Burcham so good. She's just incredibly aware at all times and quickly putting that one back for the stuff. Oh, that is a beautiful, beautiful play. Evangels knotted up once again. It's just such finesse.
Without a doubt. And I mean, a lot of players, especially the younger players out there, may just want to smack that one home, put a lot of heat behind it. But she knew the situation, knew there's nobody there, tipped it right where it needed to be, but SAGU able to once again quickly respond. Anytime this thing gets tied, the Lions, they've been able to come forward in a big way.
And that's kind of what they do. They are defensive stoppers. That is what they built the reputation on. And they do not let teams get tons of momentum offensively.
It was Ava Myers last time with the kill for SAGU. One of those real aces in the hole for the Lions, Coach Moore and company.
Myers with a big shot to the middle. Another roll shot by MACU. Abby Wells just has to get a free ball over. Going with a big swing. It gets tipped. Glick gets it. Myers sees something in the back left corner. It was defended, but the pass was no bueno.
No bueno indeed, and that allows SAGU to build a little bit more cushion on it, get this lead to 2. Put more pressure on MACU's side. They've been staying with them throughout the night thus far, but big thing is, can they keep it that way? That one goes out, so quick error makes it 5 on MACU's end to SAGU 6, cuts this lead to 1. See Mid-America Christian making some substitutions out there. The Evangels going to get to serve it here. Again, 6-5 in favor of the SAGU Lions, but both teams, they fought each other very close. Lions been able to get that quick little push that the Evangelists have not been able to get. We've seen the Lions do a great job of quickly terminating, taking advantage of whatever their opposition gives them. You see Wells going underneath it. There's Burcham all the way back. Glick cannot get it over, and don't go away. 6-6 the score.
This is tournament, classic tournament competition right here.
No doubt. And once again tied. We'll see if MACU can get over that hump. Have not been able to do it here in the early going and build a lead of their own. That's a hard hit for Myers. MACU was able to track it down. Glick laid out for it. Great play there. We talked about in pregame, sacrificial play, huge, especially once postseason kicks off. Evangels holding their own right now in this rally. Lions trying to find that last push. Officials blow it dead, point SAGU.
Chloe Mitchell really trying to do a lot of the heavy lifting here. And you see the net defense ultimately prevails for the Lady Lions. But Chloe Mitchell hitting the ball good and just really strong. Just got to find some openings.
SAGU once again, quick point for the Lions. And this is something the Evangels have got to take advantage of what they give them.
And as we talked about a little bit earlier today in trying to break down this matchup, one of the weak spots in the Evangels' armor is their receive on serve. They have 162 service errors, where SAGU, I believe, is around 102.
It's just over 100.
Yep. And so that's 60 more in the plus column for SAGU. And the Evangels are definitely going to have to work out how they pass the ball from the serve. Burcham gets to Abby Wells. She pushes it down the right side. And she can use the whole court, Ori. We're used to seeing that. I expect to see her involved a lot more than we have all season due to a hand injury. And Coach Moore, you know, he sees her as one of his best hitters that he can put out there. But the Lady Lions are just such a cohesive group. They have rallied around Abby's absence and done well. Now it's kind of like the cherry on top of the dessert when you stick Abby Wells in, and she's just going to give you the highest octane that you can put in the gas tank.
I mean, without a doubt, and you already mentioned it, Abby Wells working through injury this season, missed some stretches of time throughout. With that said, she's really starting to develop some great matches here over the last week or so. Had 14 kills against Texas Wesleyan back on November 1st. A big part of that win against John Brown in 5 sets on the 5th, 9 kills there. If she could put up another big performance today, as you mentioned, someone Coach Moore really likes to work through, especially in some tight situations. And this is exactly what they need to break away for MACU. MACU playing them close, but 4-0 run going to the break. We'll see what the Evangels can do coming out of the huddle. But right now, Lions in control.
Yeah, this is kind of where they get you. They get these runs where defensively they stop teams from having runs. They can hang a good, quick 4-point run on you and test your moral. Not moral. What is the word? I'll think of it a little later. But just the quality of gritty play that you'll be able to bring to the table. They test that.
SAGU going to try again right here. Again, nothing doing. A long rally going in one MACU needs.
Here comes Abby Wells with a big, just a roll shot over. Fake this all out. Oh, that is big time from Chloe Mitchell. Tooling the block on the inside arm, and the block was missed by the Lady Lions.
That's what they needed. And as you mentioned earlier, MACU really wanting to work through Mitchell in this one. They got to keep cutting into this lead. Got it to 3. Hard shot and well out of bounds.
The fantastic freshman for the Lady Lions, Alexandra Bonet, tries to go cross court, and she'll have to remeasure that. She can usually hit that, Ori. Great ace. Talk about mishandling of the serve. Well, MACU with the first ace of the game. Burcham goes behind the head to Abby Welsh. She just had to punch it over. Tipton. Burcham gets it over to Bonet. Glick gets her hand on it. Kaya box somehow. And that's going to be 4 hits. Great effort by the Lady Lions. And that's why Tessa Glick is one of the premier liberos in the NAIA and this conference.
Without a doubt, but you got to be on the lookout for MACU. 4-0 run coming off the timeout. This thing even Steven at 10. And MACU, they have broken the tie. I believe this is their first lead of the ball game since they were up 1-0.
MACU never saying die. They believe they can win this game. Abby Wells, she was a little far out and I don't think was able to make the vertical adjustment. Normally she's closer to the net and that timing is critical.
Yeah, just not the great spot right there. Gets the lead to 2, but they cut it back in half.
Karina Tipton does a little more than tip it. She gets the kill over the middle. And Tessa Glick back to serve.
Now we contest at the net, broken up, easier to field. SAGU trying to get this thing back even at 12.
Burcham with a great defensive play at the net, but under the net.
It's a long rally going right here. SAGU looking to gain that edge, but the Evangels, they've held their own.
This is what SAGU does great. They just don't let the ball hit the floor. They keep it alive. Oh, not a good set. I think Riley Burcham thought that Emma Tompkins was closer. Tompkins was setting up for the big kill and just not a good set, really.
Just wasn't there. I wouldn't be shocked to see Coach Moore maybe call timeout right here. The Evangels have gotten the better of the of the Lions. I'm so used to saying John Brown. But you see SAGU able to quickly once again come in there, get the kill.
It's a great hit over the middle, attacking the edges. Now Maddie Pettin going to try to knot this thing up. It's a good touch. Ooh. Chloe Mitchell goes in trying to save it, and you'll see right there she comes in and hit the ball. It knocked Emma Tompkins right in the stomach. There's an ace by Maddie Pettin. Something that the Lions do extremely well.
Yeah, Mid-America Christian is having a very hard time receiving these. See how quickly things can turn on a dime in favor of SAGU. They just turned a 2-point deficit into a 1-point lead. 3 straight points going their way.
Great block over the middle. That's Vanessa Moriera.
Moriera, one of those players that, again, very reliable. It's a solid hitting percentage this year. It's been one of those go-to players that they can really rely upon out there. You see it. Putting the team on her back. They get it back even at 14. This one has the makings of a potential photo finish in this opening frame.
Sydney Martin serves for MACU. A great system play by the Lady Lions going over to Emma Tompkins on the slide play. And that is something that we are used to seeing, but the last couple games, Coach Moore has not gone to that play. Maybe we'll see it a little more this evening. Great hit, MACU.
Gotta like the hustle from SAGU on that play, trying to do whatever they could to track it down, but as you said, great hit from Mid-America Christian. I believe that was from Stockhammer. Leads the team in kills by a long shot entering tonight, and someone that they definitely need a big performance from.
Walters. Oh, that's a fantastic rip snorter by Ava Myers.
Ava Myers rocked that one, just a rocket there from 5 in the purple and white, and that one breaks the tie. Ava Myers, such a great player out there. Very reliable hand in that lineup for Coach Moore.
Emma Tompkins serves for the Lady Lions. And this is just going to be a free ball from MACU. Burcham. Slide play to Karina Tipton. Did not work. Now back to Burcham, going behind the 10-foot line to Emma Tompkins. Good defense by the Evangels. Get a good set and a good look. Wow. I believe that was Stockhammer.
It was a good play there for Mid-America Christian. It went off the body of a SAGU line, and then they just were not able to recover. Again, this one, real photo finish potentially in the making. Even at 16, Evangels just will not go away, and the Lions have not been able to really build up a big lead against them thus far.
Burcham goes to the outside. That's a tooling of the block. No, that actually landed. It was a tooling of the block, but it landed in. On the line.
Very interesting call. Very interesting. It breaks the tie as well. Definitely going in MACU's favor. They get this thing to 2. Another quick point in favor of those Evangels. Gotta feel pretty good if you're in the black and red out there right now. 7 away from claiming this opening frame, but do not want to have your backs turned to your opponents. The SAGU Lions. Really good, but that's going to make matters worse.
MACU making an early statement in Game 1 of the Sooner Athletic Conference Tournament. This is the Final Four of the Sooner Athletic Conference Tournament. And if you're just tuning in right now, this is the Schaefer Center on the campus of Southwestern Assemblies of God University, playing host to this great conference tournament. And this is Game 1. We still have more action after this game, and they're going to do things even between the games, like introduce who is the all-conference team, first team, second team, and honorable mentions. And that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll bring that to you right after this game, as well as those young ladies are revealed as the all-conference team.
Gonna need a great big drum roll for that. So a big night of volleyball, as you said, right here inside the Schaefer Center. Got the semis today. The finals are tomorrow. Winner of this will take on the winner of Texas Wesleyan John Brown. And when you look at Mid-America Christian, a team, I think, again, really playing for their season in a spot where they got to move on if they want to keep their hopes of a spot in the NAIA tournament alive. Meanwhile, SAGU undefeated, trying to keep that intact.
MACU back to serve. And that is going to be, actually, there's not been many service errors. Both teams have cleaned that up. Just a couple in this particular set, but coming at not such an opportune time for MACU.
That one courtesy of Castine McKinney. One, as you said, most certainly
Stockhammer.
There you go, Stockhammer laying the hammer down, and they just keep on pushing. They're able to quickly respond from the service there, get a point of their own, and Stockhammer, just such a magnificent player out there. A strong hand to have, and so far put together a nice performance in this opening set. In a position to maybe close things out, 5 points away.
MACU, the first 220 and that's back-to-back service errors, letting SAGU just, I don't know if I want to say off the hook yet, because SAGU's down by 2, but just keeping the door open. MACU playing such a great set here. Chloe Mitchell, she wound up big time with that one, Ori.
That was blocked by a couple Lions there, I believe, and it gets it to 1. I mean, those service errors have really helped the Lions back in, and now within striking distance, they can tie it here. Very crucial rally serve coming from Myers. Let's see what the SAGU Lions can do right here.
Glick diving, and that's insane. That's insane.
That was magnificent. Glick laid out for it like a baseball player in the outfield, and then got some more help from her teammates. Great hustle. It keeps them alive, and they get the point.
And they get the point courtesy of Miriam Nardi. She hits it into the net, and that knots it up at 20. Lady Lions now sensing some momentum. Ava Myers back to serve. That's not on the line. It looked like it was on the line, but line judge was right there. So He got a great view of it, and the Lady Lions repay the favor of service errors. Cut shot by Abby Wells. Free ball. Wells, Burcham, back to Wells. She hits it really hard. It stays in the air. Libero from MACU could not get there. But it was a great try.
Wells goes in there, gets the kill. Even at 21, anybody's ball game. And
Ace!
there you go.
Tessa Glick, and you were telling me earlier that Tessa Glick had a great series up in Siloam Springs earlier, and she had a few aces that were very meaningful. And in this first set, that ace is by far the most meaningful point coming down the stretch, giving SAGU a 1-point lead.
22-21 the score, and as you said, very important there, courtesy of Tessa Glick, some heroics.
Check this save out. There she is. Tessa Glick diving. Somehow, I believe it was Bonet, and got it up in the air, and Ava Myers gets in the bleachers to get that one over. The focus and concentration is
Without a doubt. I mean, had to almost go into the stands for it, as you said, and then Glick initially laid out for it. I mean, that's something I mentioned at pregame. If it was a regular season, maybe you're inclined to just let that one go. Postseason, it's all on the line. And SAGU, they still have a lot to play for. I know maybe not on paper because their spot clinched in the national tournament, but I can tell you they want to enter that national tournament undefeated. This is a point of pride for them. They do not want to drop this to MACU. Evangels, though, playing for their season, they've done well, but the Lions have just been a little bit better. They've made fewer mistakes. We've seen some of those service errors really come back to bite the Evangels. Playing from behind here, coming out of the huddle.
Well, if you saw the pregame interview with Coach Holly McCammy, she made mention to the number one thing that they have talked about is belief. And they have played with a lot of belief in this first set. Now, that is a point we talked about. They have to clean up the serve-receive portion. Oh, that's a big-time block by Emma Tompkins at the net. It was well hit by Miriam Nardi. Well hit.
And look at this sequence of events. The Lions, 4-0 run. Abby Wells got to kill a couple service aces from Glick, and you see right there, trying to close out, could not clinch it, but it remains set point SAGU.
Tessa Glick with 2 service aces and a service error under her stat line, but giving MACU the ball back. Big hit by Abby Wells. Going over the middle. Now, Bonet takes a shot. Great defense by Libero of MACU. That looks like a broken play, but the veteran savviness of Emma Tompkins just knew what to do.
Able to go in there, close it out. SAGU gets the win, 25-22. Maybe not their best set of the season, but it was good enough to get the win. You got to give credit to MACU. They hung with them there right towards the end, but some of those mistakes on their end. A pair of really big aces from Glick also made up the difference. Abby Wells came forward, put together a nice opening frame too. SAGU flying high. So far, so good. They've got a 1-0 advantage. Now it's on MACU to close that gap, even things up in the second.
Ori, you have been around competitive athletics for a good while now, and well, there's this little mysterious type of thing that happens in conference play a lot of times. The reason I say conference play is because, especially like a conference like Sooner Athletic Conference, you play each team twice. But there's this competitive stigma or cliche that it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Do you believe in that?
I think so. I think it's something where you beat them once, I mean, sure, beat them twice, fine. But, I mean, you look at the team across the net from you. Look at Mid-America Christian. They do not want to drop 3 in a season to anybody. They don't want to drop 1 in a season to anybody. But SAGU, they've been so good, a team that, I mean, they beat Sight Snarts now 3 times. Mid-America Christian, such a tough opponent. They've got a lot of edge to them. And I would agree, you do not want to drop 3. I think that's something that's very real. And, I mean, the Lions, they've been good all year long. The Evangels have as well. The Evangels, as I've mentioned already numerous times before, playing for their season. They need to win today to keep their hopes of a spot in the national tournament alive. Right now, we got some work to do.
A little bit of work to do, but they really showed right there that they could keep up with the number one team in the world in the Lady Lions. We're going to throw it to a quick commercial. We'll be back in just a few seconds. You're watching the SAGU Sports Network. You're looking live back in the Schaefer Center. This great first round matchup of the semifinals of the Sooner Athletic Conference Tournament. And SAGU is playing host, and the SAGU Sports Network is proud and privileged. We count it an honor to be able to bring you the Sooner Athletic Conference Volleyball Tournament happening on the campus of Southwestern Assemblies of God University. This is a lot of fun, and I have a special treat with Ori Phillips sitting as the expert in analysis for this great tournament. And as you said, Ori, a little earlier, MACU's got their work cut out for them, but they showed us something in that first set. Can they keep the momentum?
That's what we'll find out. SAGU, they put it into play, courtesy of Tessa Glick. A couple big service aces there late in the set. They went a long way making the difference.
Emma Tompkins over the middle. It was a little bit of a broken play, a free ball over from the Evangels, and it just went quickly to Tompkins, and she was able to clean it up on aisle 4. Tessa Glick back to serve again. Oh, that is a fantastic hit by number 10, Morera. Is that right?
Morera. Vanessa Morera went in
That's
there,
right.
got the kill. Great play there to keep MACU afloat, even this thing up, get themselves on the board for the first time in this set. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Tompkins gets it back to Glick, and she just has to get a free ball over. Good block. And that's kind of a read right there. If we see it here on the replay. You can't see it from that angle, but Abby Wells made a slight adjustment and came out further. She straddled the inbound line and was able to angle her block to go back into the field of play. Moriera with a big swing going to Bonet. She just finesses one over. Rico with a good defensive effort. Bonet. Another hitting error.
Just a misfire that time. It's not been completely smooth sailing for her thus far, but she's a very talented player, can get it together in a hurry.
Oh, yeah, she can kill you. She's a great outside hitter. Been in a little bit of a slump. Happens to every player that ever competes competitively. No redundancy there. But it sounded good.
Sounded good. Hey, that's all that matters. MACU, they get the point. They've got the lead. They've taken 3 of the first 5. And Renee, such a talented player, as we've already mentioned. A freshman, too, so a lot of room to grow, a lot of time to grow as well here in Waxahachie as a SAGU line. Future is bright for him. There you go.
Emma Tompkins on the slide play. You can see her just set up for that early. Ori, I wish I could tell you the conversion ratio on the slide play, but I think she gets 3 out of 4 of every slide play.
It's pretty good to say the least. That
got tipped.
I thought it got tipped too.
It did, and they called it for SAGU, but the integrity. Emma Tompkins, she's not only a great hitter, a great volleyball player, but she's a great person. You just won't meet a finer person on this planet. And she self-reports that she hit it, which reverses the call, and now MACU goes up 1.
Obviously appreciate the honesty. That one going Mid-America Christian's way. They've got the lead, in charge. Big thing is they can keep it.
Woo! Ava, oh, are you kidding me? What a defensive effort by MACU.
Lightning could not strike twice, though, and
Marley Hunter got so close. Watch this. Now, you couldn't see it, but her hand, to me, looked like it was under it, but they said no, it hit the floor first.
that'll get things back at 4. Ooh, hard hit. Able to counter it.
Pettin keeps it alive. Now they just got to get it over. Oh, good over the middle hit by Stockhammer. Nope. Sorry, that's Nardi from the outside. She gets under it just a little bit.
Way too much heat on it. Goes well out of bounds. Breaks this tie, and I was already talking about it. Mid-America Christian, they were in the lead at multiple points in that first set. They just could not hold on to it, could not maintain and close things out, and that's going to be a tough one for the Evangels. They stick with it.
MACU just keeps the ball alive. They remind me of the Lady Lions with their defensive effort. And that's a great hit over the middle. I think maybe, I'm not going to try to play armchair coach here, at least not too much, but the over the middle seems like it could be a point of vulnerability for the Lady Lions. I would try to feed that well or drink from that well as much as possible.
Potentially so. Another one very tight, 10 rallies in. Oh, Myers got all of it. MACU, though. Great job fielding it, sticking with it. SAGU will have to try again.
MACU keeping it alive. Glick up to Burcham. Tipton hits it to the left. Here comes Nardi. She gets blocked. It's going to be hard to go over. 6'4", Karina Tipton.
No doubt in that time using her height to her advantage. And I mean, it's been pretty tough sledding thus far throughout the night for Nardi. Things have yet to really take off for her, but another one of those phenomenal players can get it going on a dime.
Burcham serves. Now free ball over from MACU. System play. Feeding the heavy hitter. The ball deflator. Abby Wells. It's just scary when she lines up on and turns on one.
No doubt. She's got great awareness to reading across the net, a clear gap, and she took advantage. Ends with another kill for her.
Oh, mishandled pass there, and that's one of the reasons that they have 162 service errors. And Coach McCammy is going to want to talk about that. I'm sure she's saying, I know we've discussed this many times in practice. We can't win ball games if we can't handle passes. So got to get the serve-receive game under control and get the ball up to our setter. And they've done a really good job. Kudos to them. They've gotten better at it. It just seems to nag just a little bit in the most inopportune times.
I mean, that's the big thing. You already said it, Mid-America Christian. They really have to clean things up. You look at the numbers right here. I mean, overall, they've held their own. They've been solid, but you got 5 attack errors. You have 5 reception errors, a couple service errors as well. I mean, just in general, they got to play a more polished brand of volleyball. We talked about it in pregame. SAGU's a team. The reason why they're undefeated, or at least a big reason why, is because they don't make a lot of mistakes. They don't shoot themselves in the foot very often. One of the more polished teams, one of the most polished teams, I would say, that you'll find not just in the Sooner Athletic Conference, but across the NAIA. And the Evangels, they have to counter that. They have to hold their own there. They have to play polished and just haven't done it. Big reason why they dropped the first after having a lead late. And They got to really put it all out there to keep this thing from getting away as this second one progresses. Down 3, still a very manageable deficit, but they have got to play better in that specific aspect of the game. 5 reception errors, not making things easy on them.
Well, we saw him in the first set, Ori. MACU rolled off 6 straight points, went up 4 from being down. So they can make a run. Tipton doing the defense all by herself at the net. Mitchell trying to just go through the block. It did not work.
Yeah, she challenged him there. I believe that may have been Tipton involved there.
It was Tipton on the inside and Ava Myers on the outside. That's a tough blocking tandem to go through.
Without a doubt. Hard to challenge him, and obviously did not come away victorious. It was that pair of Lions coming up big and doing it once again. I believe that was Wells and Tipton.
Again. Actually, they're going to say that ball hit the net. It was 4 touches to get it over. Just a mistake, a simple mistake by the Evangels.
Still, though, that group up front for SAGU making things tough on them. Going to try again, and they're denied.
Karina Tipton just having an outstanding set number 2.
Said no thank you right there, and this lead is 6. They have more than doubled up Mid-America Christian, a crucial point in this matchup. The Evangels have to come together, really make a comeback, or else this thing's going to get ugly. Nice point right there, quickly terminating. Get the job done.
Chloe Mitchell over the middle, and again, another point over the middle. And I think you just got to recognize that and say, stop us in the middle. We know you got the outsides.
Oh, there was Tipton again.
An advantage of basically not even having to reach up as high as you reach up, just hitting it over the net. She was flat-footed on that.
I mean, she just makes it look easy out there. Has the height advantage, obviously, over just about anybody else that she faces, and making easy work of Mid-America Christian right now, and big reason why they're on top.
MACU just gets a free ball over. Tipton gets blocked with her soft touch. Tipton again.
Returning the favor was Tipton and gets this thing to 7. What a run SAGU is on. They've been a better team.
You got to think, Ori, that MACU, they're going to have to spend that last time out of set 2 pretty soon if they can't get out of this disadvantaged state.
I would think so. Things just not looking good. SAGU flirting with the double-digit lead, now up by 8, courtesy of Abby Wells coming forward in that corner, getting the kill. They have been very good in that particular spot on the court all night. 14-6, things not looking good. As you just said, would not be shocked if they used up that second timeout.
Coach McCammy, I saw her talking to the ladies on the floor saying, you've got to communicate. You got to let everyone know where you are, where the ball is, what you're doing, what they need to do. And that is one of the things that the Lady Lions have excelled at this year, probably more so than any year I've seen, is the communication on the floor while the ball is in the air.
I mean, I remember asking you earlier today, why is SAGU undefeated? You see MACU call timeout, ask you, why is SAGU undefeated? And I remember you telling me the chemistry off the charts for this team, communication. It's not one individual player carrying the load for the Lions. It's everybody coming together, communicating on the court, well-oiled machine, and they have forced MACU into a tough spot, down 8. SAGU charging towards a potential victory here in the second set. It'd be so huge. It forced Mid-America Christian to do really what nobody else has been able to do, win 3 straight against these Lions right here inside the Schaefer Center.
Yeah. And, you know, the odds get more grim and more grim with every point at this stage, because you find yourself down 8 points in a match. That's tough to overcome just when it's even Steven. When you're trying to beat the #1 team in the world, well, and I JK that. I'm just overstating because at some point I'm sure I'm going to go on a rant about the national.
You don't want to get a phone call from the league. You do not want to ring. This is the NAIA speaking.
They have my number on speed dial, Ori. But nonetheless, SAGU ranked number 7 in the nation, should be number 1. Tessa Glick gets another ace. That's 3 aces for her already in the match.
We've seen how big that was for them in the first set, trying to keep breaking away, flirting with a double-digit lead up by 9, commanding this second frame.
That's a nice, really nice hit by Moriera.
Able to quickly respond. They've got some work to do. It'd be a mistake, I think, to count out MACU right now. A lot of time left, a lot to be decided. Sense of urgency needs to be sky high on the Evangel side, though.
They've already shown that they can put a 6-point run together. So if they can do that a couple times, they might be in the lead. The math shows us they would be. That's a good hit. They're trying.
They're giving it their best effort. Get this thing down to 7. So you're in a spot where they're maybe not facing a whole lot of pressure on there, and in a position where they still have a pretty solid lead, up 1-0 in the match.
Sydney Martin delivers the serve. MACU gets the receive defense. Burcham goes over the middle. To Wells. Cross court.
Lost her balance there. Gets still able to stick with it.
Bonet with a rocket. Burcham. Wells was really focused in on what was happening. And hopefully Burcham did not injure. We caught the replay started up right after Burcham dove. She dove into the leg of another player. And they're going to try to clean up the spill on aisle 2, I believe that is. Maddie Pettin. Nice little mini. I think they call that the skinny slide. They're going to say MACU and specifically Stockhammer in the net. I don't know. I didn't see it, so.
I'm not sure. That looks like they put a point up there for the Evangels to get this thing down to 7.
Yeah, they did.
17-10, so I'm not really sure what the call was.
Maybe it was in the net by SAGU. Oh. That's a very hard shot, kind of on the run. Watch, she runs into it, uses the palm, the very bottom of the palm of her hand to create a top spin roll.
And Bonet using her momentum as well to her advantage, gets the kill. Lions driving.
Tooling of the block by Stock Thor's hammer. That didn't make sense, but I think he got the point across.
I think so.
That was a big time hit, man. She reared back, tooled the block. A lot of fun to watch her hit it. Oh, Burcham with a rare mistake. She tried to go directly down the net line. Kept it on her side. Burcham sets Tompkins. It gets tipped. Stockhammer again. Tools off of Tompkins, I believe that was. It looked like the inside blocker.
I mean, a tough spot, you want to rely upon your established hands, your top star. Stockhammer, without a doubt, been the best player offensively for this team all season. Stepping up big in a tough spot.
The joust goes to Riley Burcham. I don't know. Is that registered as a kill for Burcham? When it's a joust?
So.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think that's a team point. I'll have to consult a coach on that one, I think.
That was just Ugly showing right there, trying to receive again. Mid-America Christian just having such a hard time in that aspect of the game.
MACU had cut it to 5.
Yeah, now it's back up to 7. 6th reception error of the night for them. Won't help matters. There's Stockhammer.
That's going to get touched. Yeah, that was tipped in, I believe.
And look out, SAGU. Mid-America Christian, they will not go away. They're doing what they can. SAGU 5 points off from getting a 2-0 lead on the match. Again, think they're playing pretty free right now, but the Evangels not totally out of it.
Maddie Pettin with a good receive there. Chloe Mitchell gets it over. Bertram goes cross court to Ava Myers. And oh no, that would have gone out of bounds. And the libero Marley Hunter couldn't bring back her hands fast enough.
And that was one that, as you said, destined to go out. Instead going off of MACU's libero. Gets SAGU just a little bit closer to the finish line.
Ava Myers sends a fireball down the left line. It was received very well by MACU. Good defense for the Evangels. Glick. Oh, that is just surgical.
Right there, a shot in the arm for SAGU trying to break away, and Ava Myers, such a workhorse in that corner. Said a couple tries that maybe didn't go her way at different points in this matchup, but she has still been able to find kills, put up points on the board for this team. They are 3 away from a 2-0 lead on the match.
I spoke with Ava Myers before the match and talked to her a little bit about what her headspace was like and how she approaches a game. And she says she thinks a lot. She visualizes how to hit into blocks, through the blocks. And then I said, well, what's your strategy as you start the game? And she said that my first 2 or 3, I'm just rearing back. There's no strategy. I'm rearing back and I'm hitting it as hard as I can. And I want to see how they respond. And according to how they respond, I'll begin to strategize how I need to cut the ball, roll the ball, or whatever. And you saw on that one play that she went up in the air, surveyed it, and she had already collected the data. You could see the mental computer working, and she assessed the data and kind of baited out a straightforward block and went down the net, cross court. It was beautiful.
She's really hit her stride, and now SAGU just one away, double-digit lead. This one is theirs to lose without a doubt, and looking for that last point to finish off the Evangels.
Myers the set was a little bit out of reach, for a good swing, so she had to try to make something out of it. Looked like a hook shot.
That just wasn't there for her, but they still have a lot of room to work with trying to find that last point. Didn't get it there.
Abby Wells hit it really hard. Oh, Ava Myers. She saw the gap.
Saw the gap she did, and Ava Myers with the kill. We've said that a lot already tonight. I'm probably going to say it a lot more, but
yeah.
Mid-America Christian now backs against the wall. Their season on the line. What they have to do to keep it going beyond this evening. Win 3 straight right here in the Schieffer Center against Southwestern Assemblies of God. Much easier said than done. Nobody in conference play, nobody all season has won 3 sets in a single match against those Lions. John Brown, they came very close last week, could not find that last push in the end, and now Mid-America Christian lost to the Lions twice. They have to really put out all the stops, pull some heroics here late, and as I've already said before, they got their work cut out for them.
Yes, and if you're watching and you're on YouTube or Facebook, don't forget, you can talk to us. Pull up that chat or type in the comment section of Facebook and let us know who you're pulling for and any thought that you might have. That's a little message you want to send Ori. Somebody say something. Let us know where you're watching from. Matter of fact, just type in the line. Where are you right now watching this great matchup?
Yeah, it's Scanning through the chat, by the way, we were talking earlier about that word to describe SAGU, just the grittiness of this team. I don't know, maybe this word goes for it. Fortitude, perhaps? I mean,
tons of fortitude.
There you
Tons. All right, we're going to throw it to a quick message from our sponsors. We'll be back in just a minute with some more action. You're watching the SAGU Sports Network. All right, we're back live in the Schaefer Center. Set 3 coming up in the first game match of this great Sooner Athletic Conference volleyball tournament. You see some key players for SAGU right there. Emma Tompkins with 7 kills. She is killing it. 538 is her hitting percentage. Watching from Wendell, North Carolina. Wow, that's a long way from Texas. Wendell, that's where our football coach, the great Greg Ellis, is from. I wonder if Bobby Carroll's related to Greg Ellis.
So have some viewers all the way up in Canada as well watching the SAGU Sports Network. If you're a SAGU fan.
Newfoundland. I love it.
Wow.
Is it cold up there yet? Lori Pettin from Canada. I gotta be related to Maddie Pettin. You just gotta think there's a relationship there. Pennsylvania. Caleb Powers. Look at Fergie from AD, Fergad, or we like to call him Adam Ferguson, watching from Austin, Texas. All right, here we go. Set 3, about to serve up from MACU. Sam Rico. Oh, that's a little too much. Oh, they're going to say it was touched? I did not see the touch signal from any line judge, but they're giving that point to the Lions. That was clearly out of bounds.
You saw the replay right there. Puts it 1-0 SAGU. Evangel's got to win 3 straight to keep their season alive.
Mitchell. And there's a cross-court shot. That's a cut shot. And only the finest hitters can make that shot really work. And that's why we're so high on Alexandra Bonet. She's got a bright future here at SAGU. Just a freshman. Sam Rico with the dig. Riley Burcham. She's very sneaky.
Without a doubt, Burcham going in there makes the play. And if you're a SAGU fan, wherever you're watching from, Canada, Pennsylvania, Texas, you got to like what you're seeing right now. 3-0. They're up 2-0 on the match, looking really good.
Okay, that's a great hit by Moriarty. Solo block, adding to the stat line that is already really good. Miss Emma Tompkins.
Tompkins saying no thank you there. Got the block, as you said, solo block. Gets it 4-0. MACU just not a whole lot of energy on their side. No momentum going their way. Needs something to right the ship.
Burcham comes out of nowhere, gets it to Bonet. And this is what the Lady Lions do so well. They don't let the ball hit the floor on their side. What a great rally. Evangel say we can play defense too. Great hit by Bonet, but better defense. And there was an opening Only savvy veterans find those kind of openings that quickly.
That opening allows them to take this thing to 5-0 to start out. I believe that was Rico that laid out for it to keep SAGU alive in it. It was a long rally. It was one Mid-America Christian needed. They did not get it. Even more work to do.
Patton, Rico, the defense is just at an insane level right now. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 12. Miss hit on the second hit by the Lady Lions. And that's going to finally put MACU on the board.
America Christian finally able to break through the ice, but that SAGU defense, as you said, has been stout all night long. Evangels finally broke through. Let's see if this is the start of something.
Bonet tries to hit through the block. Bertram back to Bonet. And that's just great net defense by Moriera.
His grittiness on display, would not give up on that rally, and her efforts are rewarded. Quick 2-0 run going. They need to keep adding on.
Glick keeps it alive. Bertram, free ball over. Going to Stockhammer.
Ooh, I think that was touched. Officials concur.
Yep.
It was tipped by a SAGU Lion.
Bertram trying the solo block there. Snibs the top part of the fingernail. Oh, great defense, both sides. Sam Rico. Oh, that could have gotten ugly right there. 2 dives, 1 for the ball, and Maddie Pettin just to kind of save her life.
And that's sacrificial play on display, but as you said, they're not a great sight, a little bit of a scary sight at that. Seeing a couple lines take a tumble, glad everybody's okay. Does give a point to Mid-America Christian. They're 1 away from tying this thing, 4-0 run.
Stockhammer. And Bonet finally gets one to break the wall, the very tight defensive blocking wall of the Evangels. And she has struggled a little bit in this match. They are just keying on her.
Myers tried to pull something there, tipped it just over. MACU was ready.
Bowling gets it over. And here another free ball by Bowling. Stockhammer tries to quickly get one in.
Stockhammer got the better of that duo of Lions up front. I believe it went out off of Tompkins. They just had a problem fielding it, staying underneath it. And I mean, just some workhorses on that MACU side, putting it all out there. That was Stockhammer, already mentioned with the kill. They've got this thing to 1, playing them close to starting out the third.
MACU just on a run right now. They were down 5-0 and now have a 6-1 run going.
They have bounced back, and this really speaks to the resiliency on this team. They will not give up.
Myers.
I'll try again.
It tipped. Yep. Oh, actually, they gave that to SAGU. Oh, it hit the antenna. When they gave a tip sign, and they tipped the antenna, not the player. Oh, that's a cut shot. That's high level right there. Sarah Jones.
Sarah Jones coming in, making the play. One that they needed there, gets it tied again. And I mean, MACU, they know the stakes. They have to win out. Need some very good volleyball to round out the night. There you go. There's the Lions coming again.
Ava Myers throwing darts at that wall of blockers. This is Riley Bertram back to serve.
And Bertram able to pull out all the stops tonight for the Lions, doing a great job. Good team volleyball we're seeing from SAGU. That one well out.
A little high.
Attack error is one that does not do the Evangels any favors.
Yeah, when you got 6'4" and then 6'4" jumps up in the air and becomes almost 9.5 feet, it's hard to get that ball to get enough top spin to even hit the back wall. Sometimes you feel like you got to hit the ceiling. Oh, that's beautiful. Stockhammer showing she's got a finesse game as well, going over the middle block.
That was impressive, as you said, going over the middle block, going over Tipton. As we saw on the previous rally, much easier said than done. Tipton, such an intimidating force right there up front to have by the net. But Mid-America Christian, that time winning out, and it is Stockhammer really carrying this squad offensively. Need to keep it up, one away from tying, and that will not do him any favors.
Service error. It was very close to hitting the back line.
I mean, just right when MACU is in position to strike, they have one of those errors. He had an attack error from Stockhammer, another one from Stockhammer earlier on, and then a coming from Bowden. Angels just cannot get over that hump.
Oh, tooling the block. I believe that went off of Bonet. You'll get a good, yep, cleanly off Bonet.
Nice job there laying out for it. That was Rigo keeping it alive. Wells rejected first time. That time it rolls around in a very eventful sequence of events, and I believe that will end in a kill for number 6 in the white and purple, Abby Wells. Not the first time we've called her name tonight, and probably won't be the last.
Tessa Glick delivers the serve. There's a tooling of the block from Alexandra Bonet.
Bonet, as we've already said before, such a bright future as a SAGU Lion. Scary thing for anybody that faces this team, faces her. She's still got a few years left here in the purple and white. A lot of room to develop as a player. Lions really hitting their stride, trying to put this thing away in 3.
Great block. And Abby Wells was there in the blocking tandem of Wells and Tompkins, but Abby Wells points quickly. Tompkins did all the work there. Sam Rico with the defense. Miss hit by Marley Hunter. And now we're going to get a timeout before this thing gets a little too far out of hand from Coach Holly McCammy. Flagstaff, Arizona reporting in. Lynette Riggs watching. Thank you for joining us.
There you go, got one in Oregon.
Man, we're covering a lot of states.
Vast array of different places, folks tuning into the SAGU Sports Network. Again, if you're a Lions fan, probably very happy with what you're seeing. I mean, right now, SAGU up 2-0 on the match and up by 5 right here in the third. Looking really good in a spot where if they can keep this up just for a little bit longer, they'll be playing in the finals tomorrow at noon. When you look at Mid-America Christian at this point, Stockhammer, you have to give her a lot of credit. 10 kills, 400 is the hitting percentage for her. Really doing what she can to carry this team offensively, but the supporting cast has not really taken off, and we're seeing some of those errors on their end as well that have gotten the better of them. And, I mean, they were right there in the first set. They were up late, but just could not close out. Some key aces from Glick, some mistakes on MACU's side. Blew that thing wide open in favor of the Lions. And second set, easily in SAGU's hands. The third up by 5 in the driver's seat. So SAGU Lions.
Well, don't count MACU out just because they're down 5, because it was 5-zip just a few minutes ago. MACU ran 6 off really quickly and tied it up. Bonet got that one to drop down on the line. Wow.
Able to get that one in the right spot. 6 points. As he said, it'd be a mistake to completely write off MACU. They're fighting for a lot at this point in time, but SAGU, they've been the better team pretty much all night long.
Tessa Glick gets it to Moriera. Abby Wells. Oh my goodness.
Just a beautiful shot right there.
That's a John Smoltz hater.
Without a doubt. Doing a little baseball reference for those fans out there.
Of course,
man.
Of course.
Shout out to those Houston Astros.
We don't leave anyone out. All are welcome.
Quickly rejected. MACU will have to try again, and that one.
That's touched. Nope. Yep, it is. Touched by Bonet right at the last second. Yep.
Yeah, right call there by the officials. And MACU, they stay in this thing. A very crucial point in this set, though. A little scoring run from SAGU blows this thing potentially out of reach. Vandals have to know it, since of urgency needs to be sky high.
That is a laser shot from Bonet, but well defended by the back row of MACU. That one's touched, so point SAGU.
See there on the replay, another hard shot from Abby Wells, and all Mid-America Christian's Libera could do was just stick her hands up, make a quick attempt at it, but to no avail. Still a quick point from MACU to respond. Score 17-11, as you can see. SAGU still in position. This is theirs to lose, but MACU, they will not go away quietly.
Sydney Martin back to serve. Bonet's just got to get it over. She does. Going to Stockhammer. Glick said, I got this. Bonet back right corner. Oh, nice. Bonet's doing a lot of work in this rally. Bertram didn't get away with that one. Good defense from the Evangels. Bertram gets it over. Big time rally. No one wants to die. Stockhammer.
It's not how you wanted that rally to end, with an attack error there from Stockhammer. I think she got maybe a little bit anxious, way too much behind it. And
she was hoping that one of the Lady Lions had tipped it.
Nope.
And she just hit it too high. Moriera. Cross court, roll shot from Ava Myers. Pettin, Bertram, Myers. Great net defense. Oh, yeah. The lefty. Cassidy McKinney. We haven't seen her much tonight. She gets involved with a nice kill in front of the 10-foot line.
Coming through in a big way. Their backs are against the wall, just 7 points away from their season potentially being over. Likely over, I would think. They applied all the stops like they're able to do it, but they have to keep it coming.
And that is a big-time hit by Lena Stockhammer. It drops so fast, Ori. I wasn't sure which side it came down on. But the ref saw it, and that's point MACU, just 5 points away. In the net, letting the Lady Lions off the hook from the momentum that they had just created. Now it's a 6-point game. Favor of the Lady Lions, and Emma Tompkins back to serve.
And that one's hit by a Lion. Lands in the back, still in bounds. That's going to be a kill for Sarah Jones. She's put together a nice third set.
Cassidy McKinney back to serve. She puts one. Oh, that was so close. But the line judge right on top of it says 2 Scotias and a frog's hair outside of the line.
And that was a close one, but SAGU, you also have to credit them with that awareness there. A couple Lions just got right out of the way of it. landed in their favor. 20-14 the score. And I mean, when you look at Mid-America Christian, when you look at just how things have gone for them, Stockhammer has carried this team offensively. 11 kills, the only player for the Evangels to hit double digits there. Next most, it's Jones, Mitchell, and Moriera with 4. I mean, the supporting cast just has not really got involved. And then you look at Southwestern Assemblies of God. I mean, there's great chemistry, seen a lot of different faces get out there, get kills. Great team volleyball. As I've already mentioned before, a well-oiled machine that team is, led by Coach Hank Moore. They are driving, and unless things change in a big way, driving right into the finals tomorrow at noon, taking on the winner of Texas Wesleyan and John Brown. But they still have to fight. 5 points away, in a good spot, but they still need to maintain, keep pounding till the finish.
Johnny Ivy out there, Big Daddy of one of the greats of the SAGU Lady Lion volleyball history, Sophie Ivy, driving his car watching this big matchup. And it looks like he landed in Fredericksburg, but first time he said that he's in Reagan Wells, Texas. So cool. Technology, Ori. Technology. You can watch this game anywhere in the world.
Gotta love that technology, brother.
MACU trying to put something together, and there it starts, coming out of the timeout, cutting the 6-point lead to 5 points. Lena Stockhammer getting it done.
Kill number 12 for her tonight. That is triple what anyone else individually on that MACU team's been able to do.
Riley Bowden serves. That's Bolin. Chloe Mitchell gets one over. Burcham goes to Ava Myers. And Ava Myers decided to go on the inside. A lot of times, she'll just either try to go through that or tool the block on the outside. She elected to go off the far inside hand of the far middle blocker. And it worked. That's a risky play.
Without a doubt, but it pays off for SAGU, and that one close. It's going to go out of bounds. Saw a similar play work out against the Evangels just a second ago, but that time a service there. One of few misfires we've seen from the Lions this evening. It does put a point up on the board for MACU.
Marley Hunter served for MACU. Now MACU has a chance. Chloe Mitchell. Marley Hunter digs that one out. Back to Chloe Mitchell. Wells. Hunter gets it over from Nardi. Oh, that's clean. Moriera showing up at the right time. Right over the middle. She stayed poised. Hit it right at San Rico. Tap over from Wells. Mitchell went right at Riley Burcham.
And Burcham could not muster any resistance. You see it, he's sitting there on the replay.
Perfect spot. Oh, this is not when you don't ever want a service error, but not when your back's on the wall and you just cut it to 3.
And we've been talking about that all night. MACU just starts to get within striking distance, and an error. It's a little more work for them to do. Crucial point right here, and one MACU needs. Not going to get it.
Abby Wells sees the floor very well. And she likes to go that very vertical line down that right side that she's hitting from. You see her do that a lot. Oh, again, not quite down the line, but you saw, if you watch the replay, the scouting data's out. Libero protected the line, had the left foot on the line, was not going to get beat on the line. And the small adjustment.
Now SAGU one away from punching their ticket to the finals. Let's see if they can do it.
And that is out of bounds from Nardi. And There you go. The ticket has been punched officially. Lady Lions move on to the championship game of the Sooner Athletic Conference Tournament.
I mean, I say it often on the JV broadcast whenever the Golden Eagles get a sweep. I'll say it in this case for SAGU, get out the brooms, because the Lions have swept the Evangels. I mean, they're just a better team throughout the night. And, you know, they did not have an individual standout performance on their end like Lena Stockhammer had for MACU, but we talked about it. So much chemistry. Overall, such a stacked attack. I mean, just overall, doing great going into the finals. I think, obviously, they went into this tournament as the favorites. Not hard to see why. Undefeated still going into the last match of the conference tournament tomorrow at noon. SAGU waiting to see who they'll be facing between John Brown and Texas Wesleyan. Overall, though, hitting their stride, flying high.
Absolutely. And I don't know how this will actually come across. I guess perceptively you could take it in a negative, positive way, but Lena Stockhammer is the go-to player for MACU. Now, Moriera had a great match, and she does great things. A lot of the young ladies for the Evangels did great things at times.
Yes.
The magic of an undefeated season, now 31-0, 31 straight wins by SAGU, is due to the fact that you can't really call attention to that Lena Stockhammer type player on the Lady Lions lineup. And that just means that there are a lot of hitters, blockers, doing their thing. We call Tessa Glick. She gets a lot of digs, but so does Maddie Pettin. So does Lindy Bowling. I think those three defensive specialists start on any team as a libero in the country. That's how good they are. So the numbers just get well distributed, and therefore there's not this inflated kind of perception of who is the best. There is no the best. The team is the best. And I think if you're a coach, that is just a special thing to be a part of, because you really, really get to see how good or maybe bad a coach you are at that point.
I mean, and this is, as you said, so many different talented players on that team. I mean, offensively, if you contain Abby Wells, well, guess what? You also have to try to contain Ava Myers, Emma Tompkins, Alexandra Benet. So many different players out there that can really muster up big performances. And as we already mentioned, in SAGU's case, we did not have that Lena Stockhammer level of performance. Stockhammer, the only player across the match to hit double digits on kills. But nobody on SAGU's side, think about it, nobody played a bad game. It was something where everybody was going out there, didn't make many mistakes. They held their own. They played polished volleyball. And Coach Moore does such a great job for this program, great job for this team. There's a reason why he's been able to go out there, be around here as long as he has, be able to be on top of the league so many times. I mean, this team roaring once again to the finals. It'll be a tough out for anybody. It's going to be Texas Wesleyan or John Brown. One of these two teams, they will get the last crack at SAGU across the Sooner Athletic Conference season. We'll see what they can do. Their matchup coming up soon. But first, we have some hardwood to give out.
Yes, we do. This is the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament, so you can't have a tournament, and this is not going to be the all-tournament team. That can't be done until the end. But this is the all-conference honors about to happen. We're going to bring it to you live here in the Schaefer Center. They're getting it set up, and there'll be this mini pause that goes on for this ceremony, and then 45 minutes after the end of the ceremony, they will let the other, Texas Wesleyan and John Brown University warm up, and they will take as much time as they really need, which could be anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, and then we will get that game underway, and we will bring that to you live. But right now, we kind of got to wing it, Ori, because it depends on how fast they're going to set up. And I see them down there scurrying. I don't know if they could get a camera shot of where the table is, but they're getting all the awards ready to hand out. And I have now seen the list of all conference honorees, and it just reminds me, and you and I did talk about this a little bit earlier today, how good the Sooner Athletic Conference volleyball is. And They do not seem to get a lot of respect nationwide. Nonetheless, I can tell you, I watch, I'm a connoisseur. I'm really into this volleyball thing in the NAI. I watch a lot of not just SAC teams, not just SAGU matches, John Brown matches, or Texas Western. I watch them all. I'm telling you, the top 4 teams that you see today can go into any conference in America and compete at a high level, and probably, I give a good 75% chance, come out with a winning. G-Pack is equally strong, maybe give them a little bit of a nudge up. So we'll say they are the strongest, but SAGU, the SAC is not going to play third fiddle. They're maybe second fiddle out of all the conferences in the nation, and there should be at least 3, maybe 4 teams from the Sooner Athletic Conference that get in the top 48 teams in America. And that is going to happen. That selection will probably happen this weekend and be released next week. So that's some exciting things to look forward to. No doubt your number 1 team in the world, SAGU, is going to be in there. All right, we're going to throw it down to the court right now as they have some ceremony and festivities going on for the all-conference teams. We'll be back. You're watching the SAGU Sports Network.
Starting with the honorable mention all-conference selection. Karina Tipton of SAGU. Lily Hanna of SAGU. Skylar Ward, Texas Wesleyan University. Cassidy McKinney, MACU. Vanessa Morea, MACU. Now, the second team all-conference selections. Jillian Blackman, John Brown University. Maram Nardi, MACU. Sydney Charlton, Texas Wesleyan University. Marley Hunter, MACU. Carly Unruh, Texas Wesleyan University. Sydney Alexander, Texas Wesleyan University. Ellie Lapton, John Brown University. Now for the first team all-conference selections. Emma Tompkins, SAGU. Emma Tompkins, SAGU. Andrea Malik, Texas Wesleyan University. Savannah Riney, JBU. Riley Burcham, SAGU. Ruby O'Brien, Texas Wesleyan University. Lauren Cloud, John Brown University. Taylor Goldman, John Brown University. Tessa Glick, Southwestern Assemblies of God University. Ava Myers, Southwestern Assemblies of God University. Lena Stockhammer, MACU. At this time, we will recognize the All-Conference Awards. The Sooner Athletic Conference Freshman of the Year, Sydney Alexander, Texas Wesleyan University. Athletic Conference Newcomer of the Year, Miriam Nardi, MACU. The Sooner Athletic Conference Co-Setter of the Year, Riley Burcham, SAGU. The Sooner Athletic Conference Co-Setter of the Year, Ruby O'Brien, Texas Western University. The Sooner Athletic Conference Defender of the Year, Andrea Malik, Texas Western University. The Sooner Athletic Conference Attacker of the Year, Emma Tompkins, SAGU. The Sooner Athletic Conference Assistant Coach of the Year, Nick Moore, SAGU. The Sooner Athletic Conference Coach of the Year, Hank Moore. The Sooner Athletic Conference Most Valuable Player of the Year, Emma Tompkins, Southwestern Assemblies of God University. On behalf of the Sooner Athletic Conference and its commissioner, John Martin, congratulations to all the awards winners. And for the award winners with a plaque, we have a box. If you